The San Antonio Spurs led by double digits in every game of the 2026 NBA Finals. They were in the lead for 72% of all the finals minutes played, and at one point in Game 4, they led by 29 points. But they still lost to the Knicks. So how did New York pull off 4 miraculous comebacks in the NBA Finals, especially when nobody believed in them?
I think San Antonio, Knicks gonna have some rust from not playing for so long. San Antonio gonna come out and punch them in the mouth.
So this rust versus rest, I think it's in the Spurs' favor.
You think it's in the San Antonio Spurs' favor?
I say 6 games Spurs. And I want to see how the Knicks play in this game right here, because it might even go 5.
Oh, wow.
You can't stop Victor Wembanyama. Nobody has an answer for Victor Wembanyama, and as well as the Knicks are playing right now, it's an impossible task.
I'm gonna say the Spurs.
In 7?
Yeah.
Of course you're supposed to get out of the East. That don't just mean you win a championship because you get out of the East. It's the fucking East. So I still think the New York Knicks are missing that one piece that makes you a championship team. Just like Becky Hammond said, prove me wrong.
Jalen Brunson.
No, he's too small. If your best player is small, you're not winning. John Stockton, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, you could go down the list.
I don't know why that's being brought, like why everybody's so stuck on that. I said it 2 years ago. I stand by it.
Let you clear the air.
There's no air to be cleared. I said what I said, but I do think the 2 best teams are in the West. Oh, well, you know who I'm cheering for.
They're going to be the favorites to win the championship, but I'm not counting the New York Knicks out by a long shot.
On June 3rd, 2026, the New York Knicks were back in the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. They went on an 11-game winning streak in the playoffs. The last time they lost a basketball game was back in April. It was the most dominant postseason run this franchise had ever put together. On the other side stood the San Antonio Spurs, a team that had torn through the Western Conference. They knocked out the defending champions in 7 games. This was a young, inexperienced team, so nobody saw the Spurs making the finals, and yet here they were, as the second youngest team ever to reach the NBA Finals. But despite being an inexperienced team, the Spurs became heavy favorites to win the championship. Even with an 11-game win streak, nobody believed in the Knicks.
I feel like we've been doubted a lot. There's been a lot of noise on the outside that we could obviously talk about, complain about, but we've always just went back into the gym, worked on our game individually, and then when it came to practice, we were focused. When it came to games, we kept getting better and better. I think our mentality is in the right place at the right time.
We truly believe we've been building, championship habits since October. So nothing's changed for us.
Once in a lifetime opportunity that you can't take for granted.
Let's go Spurs!
We are back. There's the alien invasion. Beware.
Go Spurs, go!
And with all the nostalgia surrounding this finals rematch, it's great to have
It's really cool having New York fans on the road. They travel and they're loud. They let it be known that they're there and they're supporting.
The building came alive with an energy the city hadn't felt in a very long time. Covered in the iconic Fiesta colors and packed with fans who genuinely believed their team was about to do something special.
Everybody's gonna be a little amped up. Take a deep breath. Whatever the next play, don't worry about anything else. Let's go get a win. It's gonna take 1, 2, 3. Yes. Let's dominate! Dominate that 3. 1, 2, 3.
Dominate! Stay healthy, man.
Let's go! Start it right, start it right, start it right!
There is no sound in basketball like a finals crowd.
Both teams came out aggressive from the opening tip, setting the tone for what was shaping up to be an intense, physical series. But as the first quarter progressed, San Antonio was finding their rhythm, with their lead growing. The Knicks weren't rattled. They had beaten this team before, and they had a specific plan in mind with their X factor, Karl Anthony Towns.
Every year I'm hungry. I'm always looking for the first one. The first one's the hardest one to get, so getting that first ring would mean everything to me. Like I said, there's no words to describe how bad I want to win.
Towns was physical and aggressive, refusing to give Wemby any space, while forcing him into quick decisions. Wemby was used to players going out of their way to avoid him. standing at a towering height of almost 7'6". That was the reality every player had always operated in. But the Knicks were pushing him in a way that nobody had throughout the entire playoff run, and it was taking a toll on him. But despite wearing Wemby down, New York still couldn't take the lead heading into the second half of Game 1. San Antonio came out of halftime with a different level of intensity, stretching their lead to 14 points. But the Knicks kept their composure and stuck to the game plan. They continued attacking Wemby on every possession, forcing him into quick decisions on the defensive end. With Wemby being the Spurs' only defensive anchor, the constant pressure was draining him faster than anyone had anticipated. With 7 minutes left in the third quarter, he checked out. The moment Wemby left the floor, Karl Anthony Towns took over. The Spurs' lead began disappearing one possession at a time.
I just utilize my experience. I stay even-keeled even in the good times when things are going really, really well.
With New York on a relentless offensive barrage that San Antonio had no answer for. The lead was gone before the Spurs even realized what had happened, and Wemby was forced back onto the court far earlier than he would have liked. With a visibly exhausted Wemby and a tied game, Mike Brown made a calculated risk of keeping Brunson on the bench to start the fourth quarter. Wemby was running on fumes, but he stayed in the paint, doing everything he could to protect the rim. The problem was that the Knicks had shooters spread across the floor, and there was simply too much ground for one player to cover. An exhausted Wemby finally went to the bench, and with that, Jalen Brunson checked in to finish the job.
Starts with confidence, but I think most importantly, knowing my teammates have my back. They trusted having me, they trusted having them. I think that's the biggest thing in an environment like this. It's got us to this point.
The lead San Antonio had painstakingly built throughout the night evaporated completely. The Knicks closed out with a calm confidence that never wavered.
I think the best part about us is that we have each other, is that we have not just chemistry on the court, but off the court to help each other. When you're able to be genuine with your teammates, the trust when it comes on the court just comes naturally. And so it's really important to have that chemistry. It's really, really important, more than you know.
This game looked almost exactly like Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks were used to making comebacks, and if the Spurs wanted to beat them, they had to make sure to close out. New York now won 12 playoff games in a row, and by taking Game 1 of the NBA Finals, their dominance was showing no signs of stopping. Meanwhile, San Antonio's inexperience had shown itself in the fourth quarter, but Wemby didn't look like a player who had just lost. If anything, he looked unconcerned, almost overconfident in a way that nobody had seen from him before in his NBA career.
It's almost not like I have anything to figure out. It's almost like I have to play normal, not even good. It's like just doing the right things is enough. When we play bad, when I play bad, it's when we shoot ourselves in the foot. This is why I'm not worried. We're gonna be so much better. I'm gonna be so much better.
How Wembanyama responds to the force of Cat on both ends is the most compelling Game 2 storyline in my estimation. What type of response comes not just in Game 2, but in the remainder of the series, I think it goes a long way in deciding who wins this thing.
With a loss at home in the first game, San Antonio needed to respond in Game 2 with a win. Early on, they started off well. The ball was moving, the looks were clean, and the Spurs had built a 12-point lead by the start of the second quarter. But then, Wemby looked hesitant. Every time he found himself matched up against Cat, there was a reluctance that hadn't been there before. In Game 1, Cat had used his size and strength to out-muscle Wemby on both ends of the floor.
Being a Knick means a lot. I grew up a Knicks fan, and to be able to represent the team that I cheered for when I was younger is a special feeling.
Since Wemby was accustomed to players avoiding him, Towns seemed to have shook him in a way, and now he couldn't find the confidence to attack Cat in the paint. New York didn't waste this chance. Towns poured in 12 points in the second quarter alone, and Mikal Bridges caught fire, scoring 11 points without missing a single shot. Meanwhile, in the second quarter of the NBA Finals, Wemby attempted just one shot and scored only 2 points. By halftime, the Knicks were in the lead, and the Spurs looked completely lost. San Antonio made an adjustment in the third quarter. They began doubling Brunson every chance they got, determined to take the ball out of his hands. But the Knicks were built for this. Every player on the floor was comfortable pulling up from three, and the doubles kept opening up clean looks from the perimeter. Mikal Bridges picked up right where he left off, shooting with a 100% accuracy, even in the third quarter, extending his remarkable shooting as New York pushed their lead out to 9 points. San Antonio had no real answer. Without a set defensive scheme to counter the Knicks, they kept doubling Brunson in the fourth quarter. So with 6 minutes remaining, New York were up by 14, and the Spurs called a timeout. This was a team that had taken down the defending champions just a few days ago, and now they were on the verge of losing both their first 2 home games in the NBA Finals. But in that timeout, Wemby spoke emotionally to his teammates, reminding every single one of them why they had fought so hard to get here. And in the next 3 minutes, the Spurs went on a blazing 14-0 run. Just like that, San Antonio was back in the game. The crowd that had gone quiet was suddenly deafening. The Spurs were rapidly climbing back in the fourth quarter. With the game now hanging in the balance, Knicks put the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands.
When it's crunch time, I just try my best to keep my heart rate just the same. Everyone thinks that it's pressure, everything's elevated. I just stay calm and focus. And I let crunch time or clutch time be a factor. You're playing, you're focused, and you're steady.
Final minute. Brunson on the drive, stops, falling away. It's up, it's good. Jalen Brunson, another clutch shot. We're tied again.
On the other end, with a chance to take the lead, the Spurs went to Wemby. But just like game 1, he settled for a mid-range jumper, a shot he hadn't had a lot of success with in this series. Then Brunson came back down and took the go-ahead shot for New York.
Wemby lurking. Brunson dribbles. Pulls up, jump shot. Back of the rim won't go. Wemby the rebound.
With just 13 seconds on the clock, the Spurs had the ball and all the momentum of a 14-0 run behind them. After everything they had clawed back from, this felt like their moment.
Back of the rim won't go. Wemby the rebound. 12 seconds remaining. Stolen by Brunson and knocked down by Wemby.
And it took just one uncoordinated pass to erase all of it. Brunson stepped to the line and knocked down his free throws. With one last chance, Wemby caught the ball and settled for the same shot he took last possession.
Won't go. Rebound taken by Vassell. It's over. It's over. The Knicks survive. This magic carpet ride continues.
I ain't got no words. That's a hardwood classic. NBA fans got a show tonight. That was something that's made on Broadway only.
In my mind, there's nothing really to celebrate yet. There's still a lot of work to be done.
It was almost inevitable. After eliminating the Thunder, Wemby had become overconfident. A belief, perhaps, that the championship was already won, since they beat the best team in the league, and the Knicks seemed to be a formality. This game and that turnover was the starkest possible reminder that nothing in the NBA Finals is decided until you win 4 games. But New York had now won 13 consecutive playoff games, and they were only 2 wins away from becoming NBA champions.
I think our mindset was 0-0, not being up 1-0. Even with the series is now, next game has the mindset to be 0-0 again. It's just how it has to be. Now you can't be comfortable, you can't be satisfied with anything. You just gotta continue to push forward.
I think I could have been better in recovering from the high of the conference finals. Yeah, I threw that one away. I messed up. We didn't play great as a team. We needed to win that game. This game was ours. But at this point, it's done. Yes, am I going to regret it? Yes, of course. Am I going to use that to fuel me and to fuel us next game? Absolutely.
The Spurs were now staring down the barrel. If they lose another game, the series was as good as done. They desperately needed a win. But Game 3 wasn't in San Antonio anymore. It was in the city that never sleeps.
Yeah, I've been keeping it frank. King of New York, fuck is they talking about? I done came up in the ranks.
We welcome you to New York City, where for the first time in 27 years, a finals game will be played in this iconic arena.
27 years since the last finals game in this building. I know our fan base is really excited, as they should be. But as a team, us inside the locker room, we have more work to do.
Down 2-0, in the most hostile environment in basketball, the San Antonio Spurs came out with an entirely different game plan. They began running pick and rolls for Wemby, over and over again. And the results were immediate, easy buckets. Exactly the kind of controlled basketball that had been missing in the first 2 games. And with a 7'6" Victor Wembanyama waiting at the rim, the Knicks were simply helpless at this point. Everything they had done in games 1 and 2 to keep him away from the paint wasn't working anymore. The Garden, which had been rocking from the opening tip, went quiet. But the Knicks refused to fold. Josh Hart and OG Anunoby began finding the bottom of the net, keeping New York within striking distance. At halftime, the Knicks had held on to a 7-point lead, despite having no real solution for what San Antonio was doing. But the Spurs couldn't afford to change course. A loss here meant going down 3-0 in the NBA Finals, a hole that no team in history had ever climbed out of. They came out of halftime and doubled down on the pick and roll, feeding Wemby at every chance they got. At this point, Madison Square Garden, one of the loudest buildings in basketball, had gone completely silent. San Antonio really looked in control. They seemed to have figured the Knicks out. But New York kept fighting. They refused to let the game slip away entirely, fighting for every possession, staying close enough to make another comeback.
Goes to Anunoby in the corner, fires away, three-pointer, got it! OG Anunoby nails it. It's a 2-point game with 9.4 remaining.
Castle stepped to the free throw line in the closing seconds and knocked down both shots. The Spurs were still alive in the finals.
Spurs are headed home with a W, 115-111 over the New York Knicks.
What would you think was the biggest difference in you guys actually getting the win today? And do you feel it was more physical, mental, or execution?
I guess a little bit of all. Most importantly, it feels like it's communication.
Even on nights where De'Aaron's not shooting the best, he's still finding ways to impact you guys. He led the team in assists tonight. Just how would you describe your trust in him?
I mean, the trust. If it's not even a question, that's his identity. So the trust is just complete and experienced at that. So he brings everything we need.
We've done our best to try and learn from wins over the past couple weeks, but now we have to learn from a loss. We've consistently talked to each other about everything being 0-0. Even now, it's 0-0.
Neither team so far had won a game on their home floor. The momentum that had felt so firmly in New York's corner was far less certain now. The series had swung back in San Antonio's direction. But nothing could prepare anyone for what was about to happen in Game 4.
Back to 0-0. We're going to learn from it. Same mentality.
We're in an area that we're not used to. We've hit a little bit of adversity. And now for us, it's about how do we respond? How do we come out of it?
Have to bring a level of physicality and attack our game plan or intentional details of our game plan. Go get it done.
We welcome you once again to New York City in the building referred to as the world's most famous arena.
At the start of the most important game in these finals, the defining moment came within the very first minute of play. Karl Anthony Towns grabbed Wemby's arm while driving into the paint, which was called for a foul, rightfully so. But that was already his second foul in under a minute. Mike Brown couldn't risk keeping him on the floor, so Cat was headed to the bench while the game had barely started. Mitchell Robinson came in, and instantly, the Knicks looked like a different team. Every time they tried to get into the paint, Wemby was right there. In the first 2 games, this wasn't a problem, since everyone on the court could shoot. But without Cat, they didn't have enough shooting or spacing. Spurs made sure to take advantage of this, and the Knicks were getting worse by the minute, with Towns watching from the bench and Robinson unable to sustain long stretches.
You're going to hit some adversity throughout the course of the season, and this is what I talked about when I said, you hope you hit adversity.
Mike Brown was running out of options, so he tried different lineups with guys like Jeremy Sohan and Ariel Huporti on the floor. These players were never supposed to see any minutes in the NBA Finals, but Coach Brown was helpless. Meanwhile, the Spurs were putting together something the league had never seen before. They took maximum advantage of a broken Knicks rotation, and by the end of the first half, San Antonio had drained 14 three-pointers, a feat no team had ever accomplished in a finals game. All that shooting accumulated a giant 29-point lead at the end of the half. The loudest arena in basketball had been reduced to complete silence.
I think the first thing you have to have in those situations is just a belief in one another, like an unwavering belief in one another, that you've got each other's back, whoever the five are on the floor, and even beyond that.
The Spurs continued shooting threes in the second half, but something changed because they weren't making as many shots as the first half. They kept launching threes at every possible moment from the perimeter. The Spurs looked too comfortable taking these random shots. The discipline that had made them so lethal in those first two quarters was not there. The three-pointer is one of the most powerful weapons in basketball, but when a team leans too heavily on the three and stops being selective, it becomes just as dangerous. The Spurs' offensive rhythm stalled, but the Knicks began chipping away at the lead by taking good shots.
We just keep fighting. We know at the end of the day, the game's not over at halftime, and you just want to continue to chip.
Until it stays 0-0 fourth quarter, then the game is never over.
Even with San Antonio's foot off the gas, New York was still down by 20 points entering the fourth quarter.
You don't look at, when you're down 29, we got to win this game. You look at it when you get down 29 of, okay, let's get it to 20. 18, you're thinking, let's get it to 10. And then in the fourth quarter, you're like, this is winning time. Anything happen.
So Mike Brown reached into his bench and made an unorthodox call, bringing Jose Alvarado onto the floor.
Basically, I went in there at halftime and said, regardless of the outcome, these next 24 minutes, we better bring it and show them how we really play basketball.
The Knicks went back to attacking Wemby, but this time they used Alvarado specifically to pull him away from the paint, dragging him out of his spot and opening up clean looks for the cutters and shooters around him.
I've been a Knicks fan since I was so young, so putting the uniform on and going out there and playing in front of all my people is just happy to, be home.
With just 4 minutes remaining in the game, the 29-point lead dropped all the way down to 4 points. Madison Square Garden was alive again.
Fans give us all the juice and the love and respect needed to go out there and play it at the highest ability. So it's our job to continue to protect our fans and our home court.
These guys are resilient, man. For our guys just to stay with it is huge because anything can happen in a 48-minute game as long as you stay the course.
The Spurs had no answer for Alvarado's shiftiness. With 3 minutes left and the Knicks still down by 7, a 6-foot-tall Jose Alvarado pulled up for a massive three, with 7'6" Wemby closing out on him.
Finds Alvarado, open look, Alvarado three-pointer, it's good!
Fan base is obviously outrageous in here, and it just gets you excited.
The same team that had held a 29-point lead earlier now looked nothing like themselves. San Antonio believed De'Aaron Fox could attack OG on offense, and he was their man to close out the game.
Going at Brunson in the pick and roll. They keep trying to bring him up. Now Karl-Anthony Towns.
Fox throws it away! Brunson, stutter dribble, drives inside, goes up, floaters up. It's good! The Knicks take the lead with 1:22 remaining!
San Antonio went back to Fox, and once again, they paid for it.
Fox against Ananobi, pulls up, jump shot. Short, won't go, the follow, no, but a foul.
Castle, who had already shown his clutch gene in this series, stepped up and hit 2 clutch free throws to put the Spurs back in front by 1. With 30 seconds on the clock, the Knicks gave the ball to their clutch captain.
Picks it out in the corner, Brunson gets it back. Brunson on the drive, the floater's up. Shot won't go, rebound deflected in the backcourt. Fox has a chance to get it.
With 12 seconds remaining, Fox grabbed the loose ball, and this was it. The Spurs were up by 1 with 12 seconds to go. They can finally tie the series and come back for Game 5. The ball was in Fox's hands. Now he had multiple options. Either run down the clock or draw a foul and go to the line for 2 free throws. But no, De'Aaron Fox had other ideas.
Fox has a chance to get it. Fox has it inside, blocked by Anunoby.
For a player once considered as the most clutch in the league, Fox was handed with too many opportunities to prove it in the fourth quarter of the finals. But instead, he choked every time.
6 seconds remaining. And Mike Brown, where they call a foul, they had a foul to give. The tip-in's gone! It's gone! It's gone! With 1.2 remaining! Knicks take the lead! OG Anunoby, and it's 107-106! That's it! It's over! The greatest comeback in NBA playoff history! The Knicks pull off a miracle comeback and lead it 3-1. Now 1 win away from a title!
The Spurs had a 29-point lead, and the greatest offensive half in NBA Finals history. All of it went down the drain, with this game being the biggest choke ever in NBA Finals history.
You just hit the game-winning shot in an NBA Finals game in front of your home crowd. How does that feel?
It feels cool. I mean, everyone's pretty excited. I'm excited too. I'm excited too. We're all excited. We're enjoying it right now, but we're just focused on the next game now.
What's going through my mind right now, I think it's going to go one of two ways. The bad one and the good one, and I know the bad one would be giving up. The good one would be getting stronger through this, getting more together, and I know this is what we're going to do.
Down 3-1, with their season on the line, the San Antonio Spurs had to win Game 5 at home, no matter what.
We have more clarity, we have more feedback of what we need to do. It's the most important game, it's all that matters.
San Antonio locked in defensively from the opening tip, holding the Knicks to just 13 points in the first quarter. The crowd was loud, and the Spurs looked like a team that genuinely believed they could turn this series around. San Antonio built a solid 16-point lead in the second quarter. The Knicks, meanwhile, did exactly what they had trained themselves to do all postseason.
The resiliency we showed down 20, but finding ourselves fighting back and winning the game shows that true New York grit that everyone has talked about. And I think it's because of each other. You know, we understand that each other is truly here to sacrifice for each other for the greater good of the team.
It's never over. Our resiliency and our work ethic builds our confidence. And I think as we grow as a team, we get better and better just because we go through those things together.
Brunson was one game away from being an NBA champion. He had worked all his life to be in this moment and couldn't let the Spurs extend that dream any further. The Spurs might have underestimated the Knicks, but Brunson did not do the same to the Spurs. He knew that trying to win Game 6 in New York was too risky, and the only way he was going back to New York was with a trophy. Even with the Spurs holding a lead, there was a restlessness about them that Brunson could sense. So he picked his spots and drew some easy three-point fouls to keep New York within striking distance to try and push for one last comeback. Spurs looked exhausted, and no matter how many points they could lead by, the choke from Game 4 was mentally haunting them. No amount of lead was going to keep them safe, and New York took advantage of that by chipping the lead away in the fourth quarter. And San Antonio, despite the effort, could do absolutely nothing about it. But the biggest difference between these two teams went beyond age and experience. It came down to having a closer. The Knicks had Brunson, the most clutch player in the league, and in Game 5, he was relentless, refusing to let his team play any more games. San Antonio had brought De'Aaron Fox in to fill that exact role. But just like every other game in this series, when the moment arrived, Fox couldn't make a shot. The fourth quarter unfolded exactly as it had in every game before it. The Knicks began their comeback, and San Antonio looked completely helpless to stop what was happening. Game 5 was a mirror image of everything we had witnessed in this series. With 26 seconds remaining, the Knicks were up by 2. Josh Hart stood at the free throw line with a chance to seal it.
Because there wasn't enough difference between the shot clock and game clock. You could expect a timeout here.
But he misses the second. And under the basket, boxed out by Wembanyama, was Mitchell Robinson, the longest tenured Knick on this roster.
It's like, oh, we really finna do this. We really finna get down and get dirty and, fight for our lives.
He grabbed the most important rebound of his career. And before the Spurs could foul him, he passed it out as soon as possible.
It's chemistry. The more you know your teammates, the better that y'all will be as a whole.
Point lead. Here comes Fox. 5 seconds remaining. Fox to Wemby. Wemby tries a three, puts it up, off the mark. Anunoby the rebound. It's over. It's over. Knicks fans, this is not a dream. Your long, long wait has ended. Go ahead and cry. After 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
There are no more games left. We can talk about it now. You're a champion. What is this moment feeling like to you?
Holy shit. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm just like, I'm in awe. I don't know. Whenever someone counts us out, we find a way to come back and do something about it.
53 years. The wait is over. Congratulations, the 2026 NBA champion. The 2026 NBA Finals MVP is the captain. Jalen Brunson.
You know how many Knicks have scored 40 in a finals game? One. We're looking at him.
I was gonna guess Rick Brunson, but probably not.
Could I get your dad up here with you? You grew up watching this guy. You learned a lot about the game from this man. What does it feel like to stand next to him holding that trophy?
Come on, here we go. Come on, let's go.
What comes to mind for you guys?
Trauma. Don't slow up. No. Full speed. Here. Jump. Take you into your shot. Go.
He always used to ask me, is this what you want to do for a living? No matter what mood I was in, the answer is always yes.
Good. Follow through though. Go back. Jog back.
Did you ever feel like you were pushing him too hard?
No, I never thought that. I would always talk to him and ask him, like, how bad does he want this? Like, how good do you really want to be?
It's everything we dreamed of. That's why I came to New York.
Tonight, it is about the New York Knicks and this special, special team. One of the most remarkable runs that we have seen in NBA history.
Hey, yeah. Hey, go through the phase to get where we prayed. We champion made, ain't nothing I changed. The streets that we paved, they throwing parades. Hey, nobody can hate on the road that I played. When everything's settled, let's see who remains. From dusk till dawn, from night till day. Hey, checking the game, was never afraid. Just call on my name, they fall into place. The land of elite, the home of the brave. Hey, nobody can hate on the toll that I paid. When everything's settled, let's see who remains. From dusk till dawn, from night till day. Against the world, okay, gotta go against the grain. In the mud from a place that wasn't sterile. Get it done like it ain't no thing. Okay, I'm a flamethrower, bang. Feel I got me a championship ring. Pop bottles, bang your gang. Rep your set, take that to the bank. Yeah, I've been keeping it frank. King of New York, fuck is they talking about? I done came up in the ranks. Number 11, I show up and show out. My heart is the size of the tank, not the size of the body. I body whoever, just think of Goliath and Dave. The bigger they are, the deeper the hole that I gotta fill in the grave. Okay, go through the phase to get where we prayed. We champion made, ain't nothing I changed. The streets that we paved, they throwing parades. Hey, nobody can hate on the road that I played. When everything's settled, let's see who remains. From dusk till dawn, from night till day. Hey, checking the game, was never afraid. Just call on my name, they fall into place. The land of elite, the home of the brave. Hey, nobody can hate on the toll that I paid. When everything's settled, let's see who remains. From dusk till dawn, from night till day.
Damn. We really did it, dog. Most importantly, thank you to the fans. I'm not gonna lie though, y'all are some pretty hard critics. But we appreciate it. At least I do. Appreciate it a lot.
Nobody ever thought he could lead a team, let alone win a championship. So I did the research and made a video on it. And that's on your screen right now.